Donald Trump rants and raves at the press. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just telling you, you're dishonest people. But, I'm not ranting and raving. I love this. I'm having a good time doing it. But tomorrow the headlines are going to be Donald Trump rants and raves. I'm not ranting and raving.
This is a radio station of the SDC Radio Networks. The music of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Thanks for listening. This is a radio station of the SDC Radio Networks.
Lock it on to the best station on the net, around the planet on the World Wide Web. The Daily Dose. Don't go anywhere. In the mix.
You don't love me. You don't love me. No, no, no.
Speak to him, Naya.
I wash your clothes, rub your back, run your bath water. I raise your kids, love you down, do things for you. You decide to act like a fool, run around and leave me like you do. Every day I stood by your side. I pray to God that things would be alright. Say you love me, don't say you love me. Just show me you don't really love me. Wash the dishes, I pay the bills and grant you all your wishes. I don't mean to upset your mind, 'cause you say I'm nagging all the time. But it seems you take me for granted. Let you know, baby, I can stand it. Say you love me, don't say you love me. Just show me you don't really love me. Give me that affection. To this day, I love you for life. But I know I just can't make it right. Say you love me, don't say you love me. Just show me you don't really love me. No, 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 you don't really love me. Love me. No, you don't really love me. No, 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 no. Love me, no, no, no.
Today and tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
This is your host, Kenneth Howard Smith, and you're listening to Smith Bits Rant and Rave Radio for SDC Radio Works. I'm so happy that you're with me, and thank you for another wonderful day on September 21st, 2018. And a great happy birthday to Irene J. Tarbell out there in Sholo, Arizona. And to everybody else who has a birthday on this great day. Been wanting to do this show. I started a couple of days ago, and for some reason I just couldn't get through it. It started out with Hell Has No Fury, then the voting power of 157 million women. And that basically was due to the part of Dr. Christine Blasey-Ford's willingness to come out and testify. I I should say not testify, to offer evidence on something that happened to her and with Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Now, the craziest thing about it, and why do I say crazy? I say crazy because this. One, Dr. Ford wants the FBI to do the investigation like they did with Anita Hill. You remember that? Professor Anita Hill back in 1991? You know, and I'm pretty sure she's looking at tape from years ago and looking at herself and just shaking her head. Now, you remember with Professor Hill, the FBI investigated her. A black woman, you know, pointing the finger at Judge Thomas, you know, who, well, Judge Thomas, I'll leave it at that. And it was all about pubic hairs on a Coke can. And the FBI jumped in it 2 feet deep, right? And they investigated everything. Well, now we've got attempted rape charges, short of murder, according to Dr. Ford. Attempted rape. And the FBI is not going to investigate this. Really? They're so eager to investigate a black woman for pubic hairs on a Coke can, but they're not going to investigate a white woman who was savagely groped by a person, a.k.a. Judge Kavanaugh, when he was 17 years old. You know, and he put his hands over her mouth and all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, boys will be boys. I'm a boy. I never did nothing like that in my life, ever. I don't know where these guys get this privilege for doing stupid stuff. Kind of breaks my heart. You know that. Is it really like this? Is it really, really like this? I mean, God, I can't believe it. But anyway, Mr. Ed Whelan, I guess part of the Brett Kavanaugh team who really wants to get him put in the office. Anyway, he, I don't inadvertently, no, he did it on purpose. He pointed his finger at one of Brett Kavanaugh's schoolmates, and allegedly they supposed to look alike, and it could have been him. And he said that this gentleman was the one that did it and not Brett Kavanaugh. Well, this morning, Mr. Whelan comes back with the following tweet. He goes, I made an appalling and inexcusable mistake of judgment in posting a tweet thread in a way that identified Kavanaugh's Georgetown Prep's classmate. I take full responsibility for that mistake, and I deeply apologize for it. I realize that does not undo the mistake. No, sir. Freedom of speech is really a big, dangerous, double-edged sword. You can say it, but once the cat's out of the bag or the cow's out of the barn and you close the door, you still got to pay the price. So right now, Mr. Whelan is looking at a slander lawsuit, and he's going to have to pay dearly. You know, he pointed the finger at this man. He accused him that it could have been him. And now it's found out like, oh, he made a mistake. These guys make a lot of mistakes. And yeah, they're going to pay for it. You'll never hear about it because it'll be an NDA signed behind closed doors. And the insurance company will give the Georgetown Prep classmate a big chunk of money. You know, not to say nothing. and basically keep quiet about it. But that also brings in the FBI, too. All right? You can't say nothing and think you're just going to get away. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I've been trying to do stories, but it keeps changing so fast that I can't keep up with it. I was listening to Randi Rhodes the other day, my favorite news person. I should say commentator. And this is what she found. She was reading off a whole litany of things about Judge Kavanaugh, basically about his finances. How he get a $1.5 million house with no money down. He only has $75,000 in the bank. You know how much money you have to put down to get a house worth $1.5 million? And even after he got this house, his account still remained unchanged. It's also rumored that he buys a lot of tickets, sporting events tickets, and he's in debt up to his nuts. And for some reason, just before the nomination, they were all mysteriously paid off. Okay? There's a cloak and dagger ring there with where these guys hang out at. They pay for each other's bills. They cover up. They make loans. But none of this money stuff is disclosed. He's in the debt up to his neck. And then all of a sudden, it's all gone. How is that? Is he being bought off? Paid off? Well, anyway, the FBI ain't said nothing about it. Or I should say they haven't investigated to find anything about it. They're trying to keep Judge Kavanaugh on a hush-hush. Okay? They don't really want to talk about that. Oh, the web that we weave. Anyway, on to Bothan Jean in Dallas. And Police Chief Renee Hall. I don't know what this woman is doing. Here's the other extreme of a black woman in power covering up for a white woman who killed a citizen, and she can't say nothing about it. She gave it up to a third person or third party for investigation, the Texas Rangers. But yet and still, her Dallas police force is constantly smearing Bothan Jean. The stories change every day, every minute of the day. The cover-up is so deep and so thick. Hey, Chief Hall, resign. Go away. You don't know your job. You're incompetent. You're very incompetent. Go away. Resign. Leave. Go find another job. You don't know what you're doing. Okay? You don't know nothing. The only thing you look like is a lackey for the white man in Dallas. Okay? Just because you got a job of chief of police and you're top of the food chain, you're just a white woman. You know, a white man in a chief police uniform. You're worse than a white man could ever be. You know, go away. Just go away. You're worthless, just like Judge Thomas in the U.S. Supreme Court. You know, worthless, worthless. Go away. You don't know your job. Anyway, that's my end of that for the moment. But we know that Bothan Jean is not going away. Believe it or not, the protesting is getting deeper and harder. And it's pulling out everybody. White, black, Mexicans. Everybody's being pulled out of this. I mean, if it were the reverse, where a black man shot this white woman, they already want to put a rope on his neck and string him up. He wasn't going to go nowhere. It's amazing how our laws are so black and white, isn't it? Justice for all? Nah. Ain't no justice for nobody. Not just, it's just us that the laws are meant for. Everybody else walk away free. You know, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Only people that believe that are the minorities. White people don't believe that you're innocent until proven guilty. Hell, just go to all the lynching records that's held by the FBI. Hundreds and hundreds of lynchings. Okay? You're guilty. Dead. Forget being proven innocent. They don't care. And they never will care. Okay? There's a law for them, and there's a law for us. And it goes on all the way up to the top, to the President of the United States. There's a law for them, and there's a law for us. Craziest thing about it, I always keep using that phrase, crazy, because it is crazy. All the sexual laws on the books are only written for women. There's not one law on the book written for a man. You know that, right? Only the laws for sex is written for women. You know, a woman can't go topless, but a man can go topless. All right? They put more on a woman than they do on a man. A woman, they tie her up about what baby she can have, if she can have an abortion or legal termination. All the laws is about her. Nothing to do with a man. Crazy? Oh, it's crazy, I say. So now we've got a judge that's going to be nominated and stuffed into the box. All right? He's going to be there for a while because ain't nothing we can do about it. But the craziest thing about it is that if he does get nominated and appointed to the SCOTUS job, it's not going to stop investigation because they're going to snatch him down anyway. Because they're going to look at this. They're going to look at the money. They're going to follow the money. They're going to follow him and his sexual, aggravation, attempted rape. And this is going to be probably the first time that a Chief Justice of the United States is going to fall under the law of the land. It's probably going to be the first time that the United States of America is going to indict a sitting judge on the Supreme Court. This is going to be something unique. This is going to be crazy. But if he gets installed as a justice, trust me, the investigation is not going to stop. In about a year or two, they're going to pull him down. They're going to snatch him down. It's going to be like pulling down the statue of Saddam Hussein after the invasion by America. Same thing. Black robes and all. They're going to go down in the smoke. So anyway, we're going to continue on with this madness that we got. Here in Arizona, we've got we're voting. Early voting is basically on its way. All the way, basically across the board for everybody across the United States. But we've got 2 young ladies that are vying to be the senator here. And one is an ex-Air Force pilot that does crazy stuff. Don't know why. And she, and I'm a senior. I'm an Air Force guy. She's an Air Force guy. Or girl. And I don't know what her thinking is all about. I mean, she's skewed. Maybe it's because she's mixed up, quote unquote, huh? I don't know if she's mixed up or not. But I don't know where she's getting her money from. But whatever side she's fighting on, the wrong side of history, I don't know how it's going to go down. But it's not going to be nice. I guarantee it. It's not going to be nice at all. Now, what else we got going in my short time before I get out of here? Oh, Oh, I was watching Mya Rudolph. And I think I've told this story before. Matter of fact, years and years ago, I know I have. But I'm just going to make it quick. Watching her on TV the other day, she was talking about how the cast at SNL, Saturday Night Live, would make fun of her hair. And I guess kind of made her really upset. And she was talking about her hair. And I'm looking at her, and I'm kind of like not listening to her, but looking at her to see what a wonderful, beautiful, talented young lady she's turned out to be. And it took me back quickly to the times when her mom and dad, Dickie Bird and Minnie Rudolph, when I met them in Hollywood for the first time. I was working on a deal trying to get the Motown records. I was producing Lee Rogers at the time, and we were looking for a deal. We had a group called Papa's Results, and we eventually got a deal with Atlantic Records and whatnot. And at the time that we met Dickie Bird and Minnie, we were working with a couple of bands over at MGM Records. We had a group called the Franco Family, and we had another group called the Silvers, and Pride Records, Mike Pride. So we're sitting in, I remember the time that, and the young lady that I was dating at the time was named Renee Johnson. Her sister was Chris Johnson. She was the head of A&R West Coast at Epic Records, Columbia Records, Epic Records. And she had told us about this young lady, Minnie Rudolph. And she told us that David Crawford, who's my partner, and me, yours truly, and she said, I got a young lady I need you to meet. So anyway, we were at the old Bob's Big Boy down in Hollywood, probably the last one on the planet. But everybody kind of go there. You just kind of like want one of their hamburgers and stuff. So you hang out at Bob's Big Boy. So anyway, we were having lunch at Bob's Big Boy, David, myself, Chris, and Renee Johnson. And she invited Dickie and Minnie to come to lunch with us. So anyway, we're there talking, and the baby she had, I saw, was probably like 2 months old, cutie pie. So anyway, we ended up working a deal out with trying to get Minnie some product to be listened to. You know, she had really no demos at all. The only thing she had was, she's with a group out of Chicago called Rotary Connection, and they were on Chess Records, and that's all we had was this album with her, with this group Rotary Connection. And of course, you know, we had a cassette of it that we were listening to, you know, after the meeting, and we decided we could cut some material on her, but she needed some real simple demo stuff. We realized that her voice range was just through the sky, a mega coloratura. Irma Sumac, I mean, beyond. This girl's voice reached to the stars. Just dog whistle type stuff. I mean, woo, powerful, clear, crystal clean. Just something magnificent. So anyway, we ended up taking some money from our MGM account to cut demos on Minnie Rudolph. We ended up cutting it, and we ended up, I think we did about 4 songs, maybe 5 songs on Minnie. And in turn, Dickie grabbed the songs quickly as he could, and he ended up going to Black Bull Music and to Stevie Wonder with the demos. And internally, it all came back to Epic Records. And Stevie cut all these wonderful tracks on her. And the demos, of course, that we cut always got thrown in the trash for some reason. I never understood that. But they changed her name after Stevie had worked with her. And I mean, in a relatively quick period of time. We're not talking months and months. I mean, we're talking like maybe 3 or 4 weeks, a month at the max. And she had an album done, ready to go. They changed her last name because Mya Rudolph didn't work well. But while we were cutting the demos, I had to babysit, and I used to, out in the lobby, in the lounge, while they were cutting, I'd be walking up and down with the baby bottle on and shaking her and listening to her mother sing, you know, through the monitors in the lounge room. And amazing voice. So anyway, like I said, they changed her name to Minnie Rippington. And little Maya was the baby that I used to walk the floors with while her mother was singing and recording for her first songs. And little did I know that would all be part of history. And I was just thinking about that. Maya, you got bad hair, according to the SNL group. Really? But anyway, I digress. So anyway, my show is about to come to an end because I'm tired. My voice is tired. I'm tired. And this has been your host, Kenny Howard Smith. And you've been listening to Smith Bits, Rant and Rave Radio for September 21st, 2018. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you for hanging in there and listening to my ranting and raving and just talking about nothing. I appreciate every last one of you. And thank you for hanging in there. And I hope to hear from you again. And like I always say, see ya.
All in this together. Why can't we find a way to peace? Yeah. Inside we have the answer. Not far away beyond our reach. Ooh, step up, show somebody love. Step up, show somebody love. Yeah. Show somebody love. Ooh. Won't you step up, show somebody love, step up, show somebody love, yeah, show somebody love. Why can't we hear the children, hear them as they laugh and play, yeah. Imagine what they're feeling. The world could be that way someday. Oh, step up, show somebody love. Step up, show somebody love. Yeah, show somebody love. All you got to do is step up, show somebody love. Step up, show somebody love. Yeah, show somebody love. I know it's not too late. All it takes. The future is so bright if we decide to do what's right. Oh, won't you step up, show somebody love, step up, show somebody love. comfort everyone in need. Oh, step up, show somebody love. Step up, show somebody love. All you got to do is step up, show somebody love. Step up, show somebody love. Show somebody love. Gonna step up, babe. Show somebody love. Step up, show somebody love now. Show somebody love. All you got to do is step up. Show somebody love. Step up, show somebody love. Show somebody love. Gotta step up, baby. Show somebody love. Step up, show somebody love now. Somebody love. All you got to do is step up. Show somebody love. Woo! Step up, show somebody love now. Show somebody love. All you have to do is step up. Show somebody love. Step up, show somebody love now. Somebody love. All you got to do is step up.
This is a radio station of the SDC Radio Networks. The music of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Thanks for listening.